All right, so we have these three questions over here, and they all have four terms, and we want to factor by grouping. Let's start with the first one. Now, anytime you want to factor by grouping, you want to start by putting a little line in the middle here, splitting the problem into two, and then common factoring each side over here. So here I can common factor C, and I'm left with A plus B. And over here I can common factor a negative D, and I'm left with A plus B. The goal is to make the two brackets exactly the same. That way I can factor out the bracket, and I'm just left with whatever's on the outside, which is C minus D. So this is your grade 10 method for factoring by grouping. And again, it's the method you should always try as a first step for these problems. Let's go to the second problem here. For this second problem, if I put a line in the middle, I know I can factor in x here, and I'll be left with x plus 2. But then there's nothing I can factor here, and I'll be left with 1 minus y squared, which is not the same as x plus 2. So that method in the middle does not work for this problem, which means I have to group it in a different way. I have to look at three terms and group them together. And if I look at this question here, I can tell that these three terms group together. So I'm actually going to put my line over there for this one. Now I can factor this and make this into a perfect square. So square root of x squared is x. The sign in the middle will be plus, and square root of 1 is just 1. So this is x plus 1 squared minus y squared. Now you want to factor this with difference of squares, but if it's a bit difficult for you to do it, you can always do substitution first. You can say let a equal x plus 1. And I'm going to rewrite this as a squared minus y squared. So now this is a lot easier to factor with difference of squares. That's just a plus y, a minus y. And then I replace the a's back with x plus 1. So my final solution is x plus 1 plus y and x plus 1 minus y. Let's go to the third problem, which is a bit more difficult. Now, again, if I look at these, if I put a line in the middle and I common factor, there's nothing to common factor here. I can common factor a 5 here, but the brackets will not match if I do that, which means I have to group three terms together. In this problem, these three terms are the ones that group together. But since I have a negative sign here, I actually have to start by factoring out a negative. And this is a step a lot of students forget. This will change all the signs in the bracket. And now when I perfect square this, square root of y squared is y, sign in the middle is going to be a plus, and square root of 25 is just 5. So I have x plus 5 squared. I can do my substitution again to make life easier. So let a equal x plus 5. So I have x squared minus a squared. I can factor this with difference of squares, x plus a, x minus a. And now when I substitute the a back in, because I have the a at the end and there's a negative sign here, I need to have a double bracket here. Again, very common step people forget. So x plus, I can put this straight y plus 5 here because this is a plus sign, it doesn't matter. But over here, it's going to be x minus and then bracket y plus 5. And last step is to get rid of the internal bracket there. That's going to be x minus y minus 5, and that is my final solution.